Yeah, I feel like the killing of Nora was a really big turning point. I feel like emotionally for Ellie, because, oh man, I love that part, just to see how much she's been through physically.
Yeah, for me, that was one of my favorite sort of moments. Is so much in video games, the characters feel infallible, or even if they take hits, they're still great, you know. And to show that this isn't just an external cost. She's destroying herself. Oh.
The Ellie and Jesse relationship is really kind of fascinating, of the respect these characters have for one another and the shared love they have for Dina. Yeah, this was a cool shot of just showing what's at stake if we just keep pursuing this thing endlessly.
I aspire to be Jesse when I grow up.
Me too.
Yeah.
Such a good dude.
She had a rough night.
Yeah, also the idea of secrets, right? Characters holding on to these secrets, like the idea that she's pregnant is a secret that Jesse figures out.
Is she pregnant?
And then, right, it's again, knowing how much Ellie wrestles with characters not telling her the truth.
Yeah. And I think so much of the wrestling with that was like, I shouldn't be the one to tell this information. It's not my place to, but yeah, I don't want to.
But we gotta take her.
Don't want to
I
lie.
don't want to lie.
She needs real care, and she's not gonna get that.
Yeah, I know.
This is starting to lay track of the choice that's coming later of I can't just leave Tommy as rationalization. Now that she had some time away from the torture, the obsession, the call of the hunt is coming back up.
Maybe you could the justification, which again has learned from Joel.
Yeah, whittling these scenes down to just the bare essentials, just to make them as tight as possible, to get back to gameplay. That was quite a bit of iteration.
Which I feel like speaks so much to what you all do at Naughty Dog, is like the scenes don't have a ton of dialogue, and so much of it is just through looks or movements.
Yeah, well, we're in a privileged position in that we have the budget and the animators and like the talent that could like translate what you're doing on stage pretty much one-to-one to what comes out on screen. But it does take a lot of effort.
Let's go tell her we're leaving then.
I'll just meet you.
No.
Like, yeah, he's got a lot to process, right? It's just...
Yeah, he just found out he's a dad.
He just found out he's a dad. And this is like this goodbye, because any one of these excursions, you might not come back. And Ellie's surrounded by all these people that want to support her, and they don't quite understand the darkness of the obsession.
I need you to lock the door for us.
How do you leave that little punum behind?
I know.
Look at her.
Let's do it. Your map showed the aquarium along the shore. Should be down.
It took forever to build this, what we call the wide, which is like the deep background, where you could see the Ferris wheel, you could see just all these obstacles in front of them.
How the hell are we crossing this?
We could use that road.
You could see WLF vehicles on that highway. And again, when you're acting in this, you don't see anything. So then you're just kind of doing gestures, and then based on what your head is looking at, we build an environment around that.
Come on. This way.
Yeah, and this is where the obsession completely takes over, where it's like, we can go for Tommy, or we can go for Abby, but we can't do both. And Ellie rationalizes that going after Abby would be the better choice.
The marina through here.
We're taking a boat.
You heard them, right? They're talking about Tommy.
We don't know that.
Who else is it gonna be?
If it is him, he'll be gone by the time
And
we
it's
get
it's so fascinating to think about someone that just has put so much weight of like people being honest to each other, and here she's lying to Jesse and lying to herself.
Yeah, I think so much of it is her own avoidance.
You do this, I'm not saying.
And now Jesse just sees how dangerous she's become in this obsession, and she's losing even him, and it's so hard to lose Jesse. Yeah, and a lot of the construction of this game was these long stretches where Ellie would just be by herself. So to put these scenarios where we separate her from the people that love her, and wanting the player to feel as alone as she does.
People don't come back from that island.
The roughest scene in the game? Ugh.
And one of them,
I'm not fucking going there.
Then don't.
Ashley Birch, Patrick Fugit.
seeing these glimpses of this other crew and not quite understanding what this fight is about or what the conflict is.
Hands up.
Only later just getting the rest of the context. And this is Ellie trying to be Joel. Ellie trying to do the Joel technique of... And this is another one of the situations where Ellie doesn't want to kill them. She just wants Abby. But the situation gets away from her. I love that she's just on razor's edge of just her emotions completely taken over.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't quite, because she's inexperienced in this type of behavior, she doesn't quite have the calm, cool, and collected way of doing it like Joel did.
What are you doing?
Yeah, and we wanted in this exploration of, the pursuit of justice at any cost, that to show that there's always a cost. And, in the cycle of violence, there's often unintended consequences. And the idea that Ellie inadvertently kills a pregnant woman just felt like a great metaphor for that. But it definitely horrified some of the people at the studio that heard this pitch.
Yeah. It's an interesting question of, at this point in Ellie's obsession, what could she see that would make her pause, that would make her seriously question after torturing Nora, after leaving Dina behind?
Well,
You need something big
Yeah.
to wake her up.
And I love how you play this panic attack right here. And just the audio design for it as well. And we do this trick when Tommy comes in. We actually recorded a line with Troy. So she hears Joel for like a split second. So you show like all these things are just interconnected in her mind now. All these like traumatic events.
Yeah, she's not built for this.
And just show what a good guy Jesse is. It's like he went and got Tommy and said, well, you got to hurry and get to Ellie at the aquarium.
Let's go.
This was another like clue chain thing we needed to do to set up for later with Abby, is the idea that Ellie has this map, and in the chaos of this whole moment, she dropped it and didn't even realize it.
the time we get there, this whole area will be thawed.
Yeah, this is a bunch of obsessed characters, except for Jesse. Jesse is the most moral character in the story.
What are you guys doing?
That all have to accept
Couldn't sleep.
that it's time to go home.
Come take a look at
That
this.
it has to be okay if
Thought is to head home via Ellen.
some of them get away with it.
We're in Fall City by tomorrow. We're doing good.
It's like these two, they have to convince each other.
Hey. They got what they deserved.
Yeah,
But she gets to live.
so much, so much pent up energy under that line.
He's still not on board. He's like, well,
There is something interesting about how, like, Ellie doesn't see
Okay.
living as the punishment it is. Like, living with loss is the punishment it is, even though it's destroying her. In a weird way, for Ellie, like, it would almost be... She's suffering so much, and there's no peace, but she doesn't see that enough to say, I'm okay with Abby living with that level of suffering.
oh, yeah.
And losing
Oh, yeah.
everyone she loves. Like, I've made her life miserable. And that would be the triumph.
Yeah, in her mind, it's like she doesn't know what life she's living. She doesn't know what burden she's carrying. She's like, any kind of life, she hasn't paid the price for what she did.
It's funny, and yet Ellie is incapable of living herself, right? She's incapable of...
I know what goal
It's interesting.
And this is Tommy just trying to make light of the whole thing.
Can we say it's from all of us?
Ha! You find your own damn bribes.
I really like this, the relationship between Ellie and Jesse and just how much respect they have for each other. I really like this moment right here.
How you doing?
Jesse's just kind of the best. He's the most mature, level, reasonable guy.
Ellie.
And Steven is such a cool dude.
Yeah.
Such a cool
He's
dude.
just
He's like
super
a-
chill and like, he's kind of like a cowboy.
Yeah, and he's
got,
like so
a-
positive too. He's
Yeah.
even when he'd be like, I'm real tired, real tired.
Because over the course of the game, he went from, like, newly married to having
Several
triplets?
children. Yeah, I think like several children.
My friends can't get out of their own damn way.
It's like my friend's problems are my problems. Like, and it just, he puts everybody else over him.
He would have been a great baby daddy.
And no good deed goes unpunished.
Stand up!
Ugh,
Hands in the air, I shoot this
I
one
love how
time.
abrupt it is.
Do it, Ellie.
me too.
Get out of here.
Stand up! Now!
Don't you fucking dare.
Shut the fuck up!
This is one of the few scenes that Ellie and Abby are together.
Stop!
And when we're making the game, it felt like we're making two very separate games with
Yeah.
two different casts of characters. And then when they combine, it was such a strange feeling.
Toss your weapon! I know why you killed Joel. He did what he did to save me. There is no cure because of me. I am the one that you want.
And she doesn't get it.
Just let him go.
She doesn't know what this is about.
You killed my friends. We let you both live. And you wasted it.
Cut to black.
Dad?
Baby Abby. You can tell because her braid is so much shorter.
It's interesting in hindsight now watching how when players do this, they think, oh, I'm just going to get a little bit of a glimpse into who she is. They don't know yet. You're only at the halfway point.
Hold up!
Abs?
And we're about to introduce Jerry the surgeon, played by Derek Phillips, who voiced the surgeon in the first game.
Right there.
Another fun fact is we originally cast him as Henry before we decided
Really?
to drastically change those characters, and then gave him the role of the surgeon.
Believe it or not, they actually care about your safety.
These woods are
But that's before you knew that the second game was happening at all.
Yeah.
right on the other side of those trees.
And?
She's due any day now. We'll just check on her and then we'll head back. I promise.
I like this role reversal where she's more the adult in this relationship.
See?
You're probably thinking about this surgeon that doesn't have much to do until Ellie shows up. Of course, the zebra comes because, again, this is part of the Salt Lake City Zoo where the giraffes escaped that we saw in the first game. Zebra, played by the wonderful Chris Robbins, who doubled for a lot of stunt work as well for many characters on this game and the first game.
I bet nobody ever asked him to be a zebra before.
No, but man, he did a good
nailed it.
job of being a zebra tied up in barbed wire. And he's like this big former football player, and he's just knocking everybody around here.
I love Pat just coming in like,
What's going on?
Like, yeah, what the fuck is this?
Come on. Right. You got it tight?
right, and then this was originally a mini game where you had to cut the wires off of the zebra.
We worked on it for quite a while, and just
We
eventually.
did. That was a long scene of, okay, now hold still.
Yeah.
Right there, that little slip in the mud. Again, that's hand animated.
What the fuck?
And then it's like, again, it's like the dad is acting like a child.
Come on.
And this was a stitch point because, again, the volume can only take you so far, and those stitches can be really tricky. But it was important in this project to always go outside the volume and just not make you feel. A lot of games, the performers could feel really constrained, like they're in a box. I wanted it to feel freer than that.
The one Marlene keeps talking about. They found her in the tunnels. She has an old bite mark on her arm. No signs of infection. That can't be. They're already running tests on her, but you gotta get down there.
Now there's like this glimmer of hope with Ellie and revealing that we're in that same giraffe location. All this beauty and wonderment happened in the first game. We always stick to the POV of the character you're playing as. So this was like why we're coming into this conversation late, is because you're hearing it when Abby hears it.
She's a child, not some petri dish.
You think I don't
Merle Dandridge.
This is my first day meeting Merle.
this situation?
And you're okay with killing her.
No, I'm okay.
Like Merle and I had so many conversations about how conflicted she was about what that has to happen, and then years later to visit the moment when she was arguing with Jerry.
Asking me? Are you telling me this is how it's gonna
I
be?
always like that we get more insight into these characters.
To buy in.
And what if this was
I like seeing Marlene advocate for Ellie behind the scenes because
Yeah.
she's so resolved in the first game and the show, and to see that actually privately she was advocating.
All of that is justified with this one act.
If this was your daughter.
And the parallel here with Jerry from the first game is he's repeating everything that Ellie says right outside on the giraffe sequence in the first game, which is like, all the sacrifices we've made, it can't be for nothing.
Abby,
He's making the same exact argument Ellie does.
thank you, sweetie.
And then Abby walks in to give her dad an out.
Look, Marlene.
And
Do it.
Marlene is done arguing, especially in front of his daughter.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go tell Joel.
Why?
The ethical thing Marlene does here is like, I have to tell Joel, which is ultimately her fatal
Oh.
mistake.
Yeah.
I guess Jerry's fatal mistake too, but he allowed it to happen.
You're doing the right thing.
She sees how conflicted her dad is, and she tries to tell him it would be okay. I would want you to do it to me. And he can never admit that he wouldn't.
You don't think so?
Well,
I think he would.
that's what I love about this. It's like, but he never says it.
Yeah, he just kind of has that look of,
Maybe he's just glad that it's not her.
Yeah.
Is he still in the fucking building?
Oof.
Abby.
No.
Abby, don't look.
We can't spare any of our characters from seeing the trauma firsthand.
Yeah.
Joel with Sarah, Ellie with Joel, Abby with Jerry. And it's just this shared trauma between these characters, and now events are set in motion. And now we get to see the other side of what happened after Abby kills Joel.
Please stop! Please don't.
Forget again, this is such a collaborative process. I don't even remember where some ideas come from, if it was editorial.
I think it was editorial.
Yeah, but to see the scene again from Abby's perspective and now get the fuller context, which is the whole concept of this game of like, you have one notion of how things go down, and then we give you more context and make you question your initial feelings about it.
Whoa, what are you doing? Manny, cleaning up. No.
You remember how hard Pat pushed
Alejandro.
He's right. We can't have loose ends.
Yeah,
We killed them. We're no
Dude,
better
this
than
also good, but Pat specifically would just kind of lose himself in these moments.
Look at my face. Fuck your face. You should have been guarding the upstairs like I told you to. Move! Back up.
Calm down.
Or what? Back the fuck up!
Calm down!
Now then! You gonna shoot me?
Stop! We're done.
There's your fatal mistake.
done.
Not cleaning up your mess.